Hey friend, welcome to Ask Dr. Betters. You know, if you need counseling, I want you to visit biblicalcounseling.online. That's our counseling ministry. You can have a virtual session with one of our many trained biblical counselors to help you navigate, to walk through your problems that can't be addressed in a short video such as this one. I appreciate your questions, but some of them require you to get more help than just my few minutes here. biblicalcounseling.online. This comes from Mark. It's a little lengthy, the question, but I want to read most of it to give you a feel for his question. Dr. Betters, first of all, I want to thank you for your insightful videos. I am subscribed and watch them often. I've watched your video regarding the question of if you can lose your salvation once you have committed your life to Jesus. I am saved and firmly believe there is only one path to heaven, as the Bible tells us. I have something that weighs heavily on my heart, though. My older sister and I were raised in a church-going family in the South. When she was about 13 years old, she was saved, possibly, and subsequently baptized. She became a nurse and lived in a different area of the country, including California. Since becoming an adult, we are both in our 60s now, she has developed her version of God that is not based on anything but her logic and philosophy, certainly not the Bible. And then, to be fair, he says, when I was in my 20s, I had similar thoughts and backslid from my childhood beliefs. She has a good heart, but I cannot seem to be able to get through to her without it becoming adversarial in nature. She has a somewhat negative view of churches and does not know the fellowship that my wife and I enjoy from our church. I pray to Jesus to soften her heart and to come to him before it is too late. I am troubled that she will not and end up in hell that she does not believe exists. My Sunday school teacher has a similar take that you had in the video. Was the person genuinely submitted to Christ when they thought they were saved, but do not live a Christian-based life or believe in the Bible? Friend, I want to tell you something. Being saved is a process. We Christians have made it too much of an event. Go forward at a crusade. Pray the 4 spiritual laws. Pray the prayer that's in the back of the booklet. There are TV commercials from famous evangelists and their family members that say, pray this prayer. But be careful that praying a prayer, saying some magical words, automatically saves you. I believe that salvation is a process, sometimes a long process. Some people well into their 60s become Christians really for the first time. We hear this story again and again. I was saved as a child. I walked away from the faith. Was I saved during that period? I prayed the prayer. Friends, I believe in what is called the spiritual birth line. I believe we are saved on a birth line that takes a period of time. That is a process. I preached a whole series of messages called the spiritual birth line, in which we looked at the scriptures and what it says about justification and sanctification and adoption and predestination and all those other things that are part of the process by which God saves. God is a God of order. He is not a God of spinning emotions, out of control emotions. He is a God who does things in an orderly way, not the least of which is our salvation. Your sister may truly have been saved when she was a teenager. She may truly have backslidden and now is off onto this journey that is totally different than what we believe the Bible is to be, what the Bible has to say. That happens all the time, but don't be afraid of it. She may be on that birth line somewhere. She may be between stages of the way in which God orders salvation. We evangelical Christians look for a dramatic moment. We want that drama. We want a fiery conversion, a Damascus Road experience. But let me tell you, the greater miracle is this, that you never ever remember a time when you didn't believe. When you were raised from birth, like Timothy was, when you were raised by a mother and a grandmother and a family that taught you the Holy Scriptures, and that you learned as an infant, you learned as a child what the Bible has to say. And when you get older, you can't even remember a time when you didn't believe. That's the greater miracle. Not the instantaneous conversion, not praying the magical prayer, not necessarily walking the aisle. Now, that is not to say that people are not saved when they do these things. God has the right to save any way He wishes. He may use the 4 spiritual laws, or the Romans Road, or an evangelist coming to town. He may use all those things to either convert you or, more than likely, place you on that birth line to begin the work of salvation, where He draws you to Himself, where He attracts you into what we Reformed people call that irresistible grace, where we see the grace of God for the first time, and it becomes real to us. That is the greater miracle of salvation. I hope this helps you to understand how to deal with your sister, because what you need to do is live your life as a Christian, as a model to her, rather than preaching at her, rather than arguing with her, to see her in a different light, to see her as possibly along that birth line where God is going to intervene and bring her to faith in Jesus Christ. That's what you need to pray for. I hope this helps.
Hi, my name is Melissa Weisenfels, Executive Director here at MARKINC Ministries. Thank you so very much for your continued support of this video series. Ask Dr. Betters is not meant to be a substitute for professional counseling, but instead is designed to extract biblical principles around the questions being asked. We encourage you to seek professional counseling if needed.